plays a lot in the way the chocolate breaks up. And just like I missed a bump, that bit of cardboard has come out. Oh yeah, I like it when they blow up like that. And what I like to look at, because I'm an explosive nerd, is this is the top of his little head, there's his little ear, and you can see in here that it started to crack, but explosives have this uncanny nature of taking the easiest way out, and in the fact that that's shaped like that at the top of his head, there'd be a bit of strength in that because of the nature of the shape there. And if I just crack it here, you'll see that crack opening up. It just couldn't break that. But yeah, sometimes shape can aid in, well, strength, and obviously thickness can aid in strength as well. Well, talking Tom, from this chaos, there is always lots of things to learn. Well, the cat has spoken. Do you remember a few videos back when we had a bit of fun with that very nasty truck from that Kmart egg selection and a helicopter? Real nasty stuff. I went to Kmart and I picked up some more what look like very nasty toys. Well, here's the Kmart cattle dog. We call it cattle dog in Australia. There's Kmart symbol up there. Some people didn't believe me though. Maybe she was coming from Kmart. Well, I'll show you guys. There's the cars about to blow up. $5. Come down here. There's the robot man. We're about to blow up. And there's that very nasty set right there. No, $9. Well, who knows? What we're about to look at might be better than this rubbish we looked at before. Push that to the side. Let's get into this car set and let's get into this robot. Well, the first one I have a bit of a play with is the 3 eggs with 2 friction cars. Now, what's very interesting is the read under the box, which we'll look at next. Ooh, look at that Easter glory. Oh, yeah. Well, having a read of the underneath this box, and what I'm looking for is to find out whether the chocolate eggs are made in Australia or China. I can't see anywhere which indicates to me that the eggs come from Australia. I take it the toy and the chocolate and the packaging is all from China. What I like to look out for are Easter goodies where the chocolate is actually made in Australia or anywhere but China. And first off, I'd like to take a look at is one of these Chinese eggs. The first thing I'd say is that the foil wrapping on it is a little bit rough and ready. In fact, all been done a little bit rough and ready. Let's just take a look at what we've got here. It's funny, probably most people don't care what they put in their mouth, but I don't know, I've just got this thing about food stuff from China. I try to steer clear of it. That's just my philosophy. Yeah, I dare say it would taste like chocolate from China, which we will not say any more about. And next, let's take a look at one of these cards. Okay, as an in-hand appraisal, I dare say the sticker work is fairly good for something made in China. It's got a very light and cheap feel to it. It certainly has a friction action on the back wheels. See how it goes on a bit of a flexing test. No, cheap and nasty boys and girls. Look at that. I can basically just rip. Look at that. I'm putting actually zero effort into this thing, and it's falling apart. It's just cheap and nasty crap. I mean, the funny thing is there are actually screws. There's 3 screws on that base part that was meant to hold the base on to stop it from coming off, and it took very little effort at all to actually break this off. And the problem with this is it's just made with the weakest plastic known to man. Look at this. I'm putting absolutely no effort into this. Look at that. It is, well, it's like butter. I just cannot believe that this crap isn't. Look at that. I'm putting so little effort into that, and it just breaks. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, this is just really, that's really, really nasty stuff. And the thing there is, if a child got into this, and the next thing is they're pulling this friction motor apart, and they're swallowing little gears and stuff. Look at this. Give me a break. You know, it's funny, I've gone back to look at the box, and they say that there is the get out of jail clause. And what I'm going to do is, we'll put an explosive charge underneath this one here, and see how we can break it apart. Watch out, Talking Tom, this car's a bomb. Well, it's one of those ones, so now you see it, and now you don't. And it's very interesting to me, the explosives are telling us a material science story here. Just look at the way that car, when the charge is in the centre, they had Play-Doh around it. I use the Play-Doh to focus the charge. Look at the way that bottom piece is basically just, you know, taken out where the blast was. It's sheared here and sheared at the back here. And a lot of that bottom plastic has broken up into little tiny fragments like that. That's telling me just how low quality that bottom piece was. The top piece is fairly bit better. It's broken up into larger pieces. And the back of the car is here. The roof part's been blown off. But and just seeing the way this is broken up, that's really telling us more of a story than anything else here. If you think back to when I blew up this helicopter, it actually had 3 charges in it. That little car over there only had 1. But the helicopter didn't break apart into tiny fragments. It broke apart into major components. That's telling me that, you know, that plastic is quite robust and it took a fair bit of a blast 3 times over. This car is a totally different story. From seeing the way that's fragmented up, this is the real nasty, nasty stuff. This is the sort of stuff you just don't want to touch. From what I've seen going on here, it has me quite fearful for what I'm going to find in that big bad puppy. And before I come in and destroy this crazy robot with the Chinese eggs on top, remember from Kmart Australia, that toy there is $9. Let's have this as a bit of an Easter thought. What do you think? That for $9? Well, the way I see it in Australia is if you head down to the reject shop, you could have picked up a beautiful die-cast Lightning McQueen and other characters there for $4. $4 for that. In other shops, they're $10. You can see them for $15 if you go to the wrong shops. And $4 for a beautiful Lint Kinder Bunny. So between those two, there, you're looking at $8. $8 versus $9 for what is essentially, well, you say it, I can't. And sure, the reject shop are doing those beautiful 100-gram Lint Bunnies for $4, but stop press. Target have come in and matched the price, $4, so it's an Easter Bunny showdown. Mind you, what I notice here is Target have the exclusive hazelnut Lint Bunny. Well, that crazy cat Talking Tom is getting impatient. I'm going to get rid of those eggs and go straight in the bin. And let's get this robot out. Remember guys, $9? Kmart Australia. Here it comes. Looks like a Power Ranger gone wrong. Well, hello, nasty robot. It feels cheap and nasty. This thing was loose in the packaging. I think that's something was meant to hold in the packaging. It's got some sort of very cheap and nasty weaponry here. Out you come. I do notice on the back here, there's one of those little tags you pull out. So there must be battery in this and it makes a sound. I'll see the button in it. Something there, what's it going to do? It sounds just like the knockoff toys that I find in the markets. Funny that. Well, sure, it's got a gun, and maybe some people think this is a very impressive toy, but I can tell you that by just manipulating this thing and having a feel of it, it is very cheap and nasty. It is right up there for the lowest of the low. I don't know why this stuff is being sold in major retailers. It's the sort of thing that you would find at the dark markets where I find knockoff toys. It's got a little battery warning, got one of those little batteries inside that sadly these days children choke on. I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I don't want to say too much more. I'll let the audience have their say on what they think about this stuff. I know some people say, oh, Leo, it's the sort of stuff you see that's right for around Easter time, but I don't see why this stuff should be in major retailers. I really don't understand that. And even before I try and change this and blow it up or whatever, I'll prove my point here. This toy has not even been made right. Look at the leg here. Can you see that? Let's take a close look down here. Well, I haven't even started to try and pull this apart, and out of the box it wasn't even made right. I mean, look at that there. This top part of the leg here should be across a bit, and there would be little lugs that would fit into those holes. They couldn't even make it right in factory. And if I just give a little bit of manipulation, it's starting to come apart. I mean, how low can you go? It's just complete and utter rubbish. And I hope those that came out are watching this. If I open the leg up here, I'll just show you how poor this is. They've got it's sure to been screwed together, but the screw is actually mangled where it should have gone in. So when they put the screw in, all it's done is it's butchered up the plastic. And maybe if we come in and take a look at the weaponry on this big bad puppy, oh, it's nasty, nasty stuff. And maybe from looking at this, we can have a new term in life. We've heard of the smoking gun, but how about the choking gun? Well, it's time to send this Easter intergalactic warrior to a better place. Maybe I'll put an explosive charge right in the cake hole. Well, I think the lesson there is you don't mess with a cat that's got bombs. Well, we're going to come in and do a bit of a look at what went on. Because it'll teach us stuff about the materials that robot was made of. Talking Tom survived. His bombs are no match for that. Very nasty gun. The legs are left standing here, and I'll put blue tack under the legs. That's why they're left standing there. Looks sort of funny, doesn't it? And if you track across all these bits here, we're down on the ground. And considering the way this toy has blown up into very small fragments and shards of plastic, it tells us something about the material it was made with. The brains of this intergalactic warrior were not in its head. It was down at its chest. There it is there. There's a speaker. There's the LED on the end of the wire. There's a little switch that turns it on and off. If I turn it over, that was the battery pack in there, and I can only find one of the button batteries. The other curious fact about that blast was I noticed this little gold skull cap down here, and that's from a Smurf toy up the back. And there he is there. Somebody must have come along and give him a hard whack. Well, like I can show you after I've done these Easter blow-up videos, I'm going to have to come along and clean up all my toys, which are around my toy review area. There's all the little bits of Play-Doh in there, there's bits of chocolate, there's bits of plastic. It's turning into a real mess. Okay, what's more dangerous, a really cheap and nasty Easter robot, or a talking Tom with a loaded gun? Well, as some of you may know, I'm a bit of a fan of the M&M's merchandise, and they do have Easter stuff. Well, there's a beautiful green M&M, and she's got a basket of eggs here. She's got some beautiful bunny ears, and her fan spins if I push the button. Isn't she lovely? And I can show you what she looks like when she's in, well, what would you call it, seasonal mode. There she is as a normal green M&M. She's got a bit of a funny look to her, but I do like this M&M seasonal stuff. Here's a very cool blue guy. He's always got glasses on for some reason, and he also came out in a Christmas theme. Remembering I'm a collector of this, and you can have fan fights if you're really desperate for, action. And here's the red M&M. I'm a bit of a fan of him. That's great. I candy around the home. Oh, I can't help myself, can I? And what's sort of nice about these is you get a little bag of M&Ms. It's only 13.5 grams of like the bad stuff, but you get a great toy, and I sort of don't mind these for that reason. Well, Easter time tends to be the time of the bunny wars. I've got 3 chocolate bunnies here, but you know what? There's one bunny here I wouldn't touch. Let's take a look at these 3 bunnies, which sort of cost around the same money. The first one we're going to look at is the beautiful Ferrero Rocher bunny. It's the new bunny on the block in a sense. It's a very popular bunny from what I can see. It sells in the shops really well. It's 100 grams of chocolate, and it's got hazelnut in there. If you like those Ferrero Rocher chocolates, you're going to love this one. It's made in Italy, so I've got absolutely no problems with that. It's a beautiful bunny. The next one is the Lindt chocolate bunny. This is the, you might say the classic bunny. This is the one that everyone's chasing. This is hyper popular from what I can see. I read the wiki page about this guy. He's very interesting. It's 100 grams of chocolate. It's between $4 to $5 in Australia. The prices come down in some shops now. The Reject shop, I think, is forced that. The cheapest I saw them first off was a Reject shop at $4. It's made, this one's made in Germany. I've got no problems with chocolate coming out of Germany at all. I love any chocolate coming out of Europe. But the bunny up the back there is a totally different animal. But let's move aside these very high quality chocolate bunnies, and let's bring forward this one here, which is a bit of a different beast. This is a Kmart $5 chocolate bunny. It's 160 grams. The problem I've got with this is it's made in China. There's no way I'm going to buy that versus that or that. That's just me speaking personally. I don't know what you feel about chocolate from China. Well, what I'm planning on doing is blasting that Kmart bunny to smithereens, but I'd like to unwrap this beautiful Ferrero Rocher bunny to see how it looks. Well, these bunnies come with a little ID tag around their neck, sort of tells you about the chocolate, a bit of nutritional information there, and I'm going to try and start and unwrap it underneath here. With gloves on, it's very difficult. Could turn into an epic fail. I'm really having to dig into this. Oh, I think I'm just mashing the chocolate at the bottom now. I've got to start here. Got to start at home. Oh, come on. Up this way. Oh, yeah. Oh, the smell. Oh, the smell is beautiful. And it looks great. Look at those nuts there. If you like those Ferrero Rocher doodahs, I mean, oh, look, he's a fantastic looking bunny. He looks beautiful. Look at his little face. Look at that, he's carrying an egg. As bunnies do at Easter time. But I'll tell you what, that's a stunning looking bunny, and boy, it smells great. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, this is into temptation for me because this bunny smells beautiful. It looks beautiful, but what I'll do is I'll take him inside, and I'm pretty sure my family will enjoy nibbling into him. As for this bunny here, a totally different fate awaits him, and I think a nice little charge right in his bunny tail is going to sort him out. Well, being a Chinese bunny, I'm sure you're used to fireworks. I dare say that's that bunny's version of breakdancing. Don't worry, Talking Tom, it's just a Chinese bunny that blew up next to you. You'll be fine. I'm sitting here, and I'll sit you up over there, okay? You be quiet, okay? Quiet. What's interesting about that blast is all this chocolate here was down on the ground and projected forward from the bunny blast. There's his cute little face, how sad. And it's interesting, the mould had some fairly thick pieces in there. Some of the mould is cast fairly thick. This is what, is that his foot? The great big lump of chocolate. But the most interesting aspect to it was the fact that his little case that he was in, this very quite strong plastic case, we call it a coffin now, that took a fair bit of blast to blow that apart. It's actually quite a muffled blast because of the packaging. So it's interesting, each blast you learn a bit about the chocolate. We'll just bring more pieces of chocolate over here. There's another really thick piece. You learn about the packaging and the way it reacts. But yeah, that bunny is busted. Oh.